Welcome to our Week in Sports Recap. I'm your host, Evan.
And I'm your host, Raheem.
And we are back with another Week in Sports Basketball Recap. So, this week was filled with a lot of news, ranging from Russell Westbrook to Zion Williamson to Ben Simmons. And there's a lot of news we're going to go through in this episode.
Yeah, it's the start of the preseason, and a lot of new information has come out on everybody.
Yeah. Our big one that a lot of people are talking about is this Kyrie situation, right? This man has been undecided if he wants to play and get some money or if he wants to just sit out the whole year. And he made that Instagram live talking that he's not going to retire, but he's not playing, but he wants to make a difference on the game. So I don't know what this guy's trying to do. If he wants to do at least some of those, he should probably get on the court and make some money for himself. And I don't know, I just don't understand what Kyrie's doing.
Yeah, he said he was gonna he said he was gonna retire, and then he said he wasn't in a rumor, and then people think he's gonna retire, and then everybody's saying their own story. And Kyrie, if he wants to get on the back on the court, then he just has to get the vaccine.
Exactly.
That's all he has to do.
Maybe it will hurt for a few days, but you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Unless you have some medical problem, but that's a different story. He looked like a pretty healthy man, if I could say so myself, but who knows?
Yeah, he's an athlete.
Exactly.
So he should be fine with one vaccine.
And a lot of people aren't happy, including James Harden and Steve Nash, which is not that good when your own team doesn't like you. And he can't play away games because their GM says he wants full participants playing, not people that do half the work. So if he doesn't get this vaccine, he's just out for the whole year, basically.
Yeah, it's a do it or don't situation. It's all in his hands, and it has to be done or it doesn't have to be done. But
Exactly.
Either way, he's going to face the consequences.
Like Yoda says, you do or you do not, no try. And Kyrie's try was play the away games. And like Yoda put it, what an amazing man. There is no try. You do it or you do not. So that's what Kyrie needs to do.
And along with players who aren't doing their part, we have Ben Simmons.
Ooh, that guy.
Ben Simmons has not been doing his part at all. Ever since the end of last season in the playoffs, he has just become a meme, honestly.
Yep. Ben Simmons has been one of the worst players in the playoffs in almost history. He shot an abysmal field goal percentage and just didn't have confidence shooting the ball. He had wide open dunk chances that he just didn't take. And I think he's thinking of himself as what he was before the playoffs. A pretty good player, as probably an all-star. Couldn't shoot, but that's fine. He's not that type of player. Playing will boost your trade value. And that's not what he's doing. He came to practice, first off, and got kicked out because he had a phone in his pocket. Like, what were you thinking, Ben?
I feel like it's as simple as he just doesn't want to be there. He doesn't care. He has nothing to lose. His teammates don't care about him, and he's not looking to put his career in the best position. And I don't know if anyone really wants him at this point. But if they do, I advise them to look at some other options.
Yeah. Well, Ben, his mental process, he thinks he has nothing to lose. He has a lot to lose. Lots of money that's going to be wasted from him. Keep in mind, these preseason games that he's missing, one of them literally cost him $250,000 for missing a preseason game. If this man can't just show up, he can literally sit on the bench the whole game, and he'll still not lose this money. Is it worth it, Ben? Personally, no. You're losing money, you're losing fans, and you're losing the interest of other teams that might want to trade you because of this brutal attitude.
Yeah, I couldn't even say he's selfish because he's not even earning, because he's not even just like getting the money. and he isn't playing either. He's just kind of there.
Yeah. Like,
Disappointment.
I don't know what he's going to do. He really, really needs to figure something out, or the management needs to get him somewhere else, because I do not see him playing in Philly in probably the next few weeks.
Yeah. I expected him to leave way before this time. I expected him by the beginning of this month, and we're over halfway through this month.
Yeah, another thing that has changed in the past few months is Zion Williamson's weight. This man had an injury on his toe and couldn't walk, and gained a few belly pounds and arm pounds. And just
Let's just
pounds.
say he had a fun off season.
Yeah. If you compare him, I'll put it up on the screen right now. A picture from him when he was in 2019 and took his pictures before the season. Look at him then and look at him now. The skinny one is Zion from 2019, and the non-skinny one's the one from 2021. So, yeah.
He may just be on like this insane bulk in the middle of his career, in the middle of the season, but I doubt that. I don't think he's gonna do something like that during the season or during the time of, and he wouldn't even need the muscle mass anyway, since he's already massive for.
There's not really muscle mass, it's more or less just mass. Like, if he was getting muscle mass, that would be better. Gaining, like, muscle mass will actually help. Gaining just straight up mass will just make him tired going back and forth. But you can't blame it all on him, right? He had a foot injury, so he can't do a lot of basketball activities, like running and jumping and just most of working out, right? And that caused him to probably sit at home and just not do anything, which means he'll gain weight. And that's just not really going to help his case, but I feel like throughout the season he might lose some of his weight just being back playing basketball. But until then, he looks like a 2007 Shaq.
Oh, 2007 Shaq. That's a different beast, man. 2007 Shaq was crazy. But Zion, he'll definitely lose the weight, I feel like. All the traveling, practices, games that all happen in such a short time, Zion's bound to lose, like, a solid amount of weight.
Yeah. Another thing that is losing some of the players right now is this new NBA rule. That is causing a lot of players in the preseason, and maybe we'll see it in the actual season, is these new rules that make players not able to go into a defender as they're pulling up for a shot. And, well, that's going to hurt a lot of players. First off, just an example, Steph Curry tried that in a preseason game and, well, didn't go his way, if I could say. He got called for an offensive foul, and he was wondering why that wasn't a foul. Well, kind of needs to remember that's not really a foul anymore, so there it is, Curry.
Yeah. Personally, I don't like more rules, honestly, because the game had more mystery to it, and I feel like you could just do more, and there would be more fighting, I guess, or more contact, and I feel like that's part of sports.
Yeah, but the only thing is they're trying to speed up the game, and they're trying to make it more enjoyable than watching James Harden shoot as many free throws as, Steph Curry's three-point percentage. But they're trying to make James Harden shoot as much as Ben Simmons' free throw percentage in the playoffs.
Yeah. That's kind of just like a cheat code, I feel like, as well. Just kind of drawing the fouls.
But it's part of the game, though, right?
Yeah.
Now it's not, so I don't know. I mean, there's upsides and downsides. There's the pros and cons to it.
Yeah, there are mixed feelings about those rules and that one specific.
Mm-hmm. So, another thing, Russell Westbrook, another thing that's been terrible to another player, and a team, actually. The Lakers and Russell Westbrook have just been terrible in the preseason. The Lakers went 0-6 the whole preseason, and Russell Westbrook counted more turnovers than Ben Simmons' three-point percentage for his career.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, like, normally he doesn't do this, but he's, like, passing just over players. He's not getting the ball where he has to. He said this in interviews, that it's just preseason. It doesn't count, and that he's still getting it worked out with his team and still trying to get new to this organization. But he's had some time in practice to do that, and I feel like around this time he should be able to gel with his players, and hopefully this doesn't show in the actual season. But if you're going to do this at any time, I guess you do it now.
Yeah, I feel like I just find it like crazy and stuff because Russell Westbrook on the Wizards just showed a lot more. Even though it's just a preseason, I feel like 9 turnovers in a game isn't the way to represent your first moments on or first games on your new team. And I feel like they just expected a better welcome, a better hello, and they just got 9 turnovers, Lakers fans, and I feel like that was disappointing.
Yeah, his career.
Hopefully, they play better tonight against the Warriors in their first regular season game.
Yeah, I mean the 2 games tonight. This will be out before the games end, but it might take some time to gel with the team, but we'll see what happens. You can't really predict it because you don't know what's going on in the background with how these players are getting to know their teammates. And all we can do is see. This could be a really good team if they can work well together, or this could be a pretty big mistake that won't work, like Ben Simmons on the 76ers. A lot of Ben Simmons references, eh?
Yeah. I feel like we expected stuff to work one way, but it could completely go wrong. It was a bigger risk than I feel like we all thought it would be, adding a Russell Westbrook. But I feel like as soon as they get into the rhythm, it'll be a bit better. But that will be determined once they play their first regular season game.
Yeah, and I mean, it depends. It might be the first few games they don't do well. And that's why, think about it, back to the Miami Heat, when their Big 3 started. They played really bad to start their season. They had like a below 500 record. But they got good, and they worked well together, and they made it all the way to the finals. Obviously, they did lose, but it worked. And obviously, they're all younger and probably better, but I feel like give them time, and they'll get to better with each other.
Yeah, everything involves time with all these players, and take too much of it, and it's just a bad decision. I feel like working out problems is one of the bigger parts of the game that people think, because if you don't get along with your teammates, it's you, and then it's the team that you're against, and then it's your teammates who you're against too, I feel like. And that's just another problem in itself. And that's just creating problems for the team, which is just makes losses.
Yeah. Another thing, Taylor Horton-Tucker, by the way, he got a finger injury. It's another down to the Lakers thing, because he's 20 years old. He helped the Lakers a lot the past 2 years, as he was a solid player. He's probably going to be a role player to bench player, but last year he wasn't bad. Like, he averaged around 20 minutes a game and shot a pretty good field goal percentage. And just wasn't a bad player. He averaged 9 points a game last year on 3 assists and 3 rebounds. So that could be a blow to the Lakers, but I don't think it'll be that big.
Yeah, I feel like the Lakers, if anyone, they would be the ones to bounce back from an issue of any sort. So I wish my luck to them, and I can't wait for when Klay Thompson gets back on the court, because that'll be his first time in around 2 years getting back on the court.
And to finish it off, I'm going to do this with Raheem now. We have Celtics talk for the last end of the episode. What do you have to say about the Celtics, Raheem?
Yeah, the Celtics will be the 2022 NBA champions because they now have a healthy Jaylen Brown, who looks like he has lost a bit of weight, but that may be a good thing. That may be a bad thing. They play the Celtics. The Celtics play the Knicks on Wednesday, and that will be a fun game. I hope the Celtics win. Their roster looks relatively healthy. They have a Dennis Schroeder now.
This just in, the Celtics just re-signed Jabari Parker. 49 minutes ago. Jabari Parker, how was he? I'm not that familiar, but obviously you're a Celtics fan.
Jabari Parker, they signed him not too long ago. He has played well. He's a solid playmaker. He's done a few things. I wasn't sure why they let him go, Jabari Parker, and why for such a short time. Maybe there was some sort of financial mishap or something like that. But I'm glad to see him back, and he has done quite a few things for his team, and I feel like he could keep doing those things. Mm-hmm. And we just need to see a bit more from him, honestly.
How old Parker?
Jabari Parker I'm not sure how old this is.
Google just gave me a thing for I search of how old Jabari Parker is. Said, did Jabari Parker die? So.
He's 26.
All right. Yeah, Jabari Parker. I mean, he's been around the league and he's only 26. Look at this. He went to Milwaukee, Toronto, Chicago, Washington, Toronto, Atlanta, Sacramento, Toronto, Sacramento, Boston.
He's been everywhere, honestly.
Bit of a journeyman at 26, but he's been a solid player. 15 points a game for his career, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. So I think that could help out your team getting those points, which could help.
Yeah.
And the only problem though is he's a power forward. Y'all need a point guard.
Yeah, we have Dennis Schroeder. We have Marcus Smart, who is a big part of our Celtics team. He does more than just shoot, and he does more than just make shots, which is a lot more to the game than people actually think. And for that reason, Marcus Smart is a really important part, and hopefully they don't do anything to him. And Dennis Schroeder, I don't like him that much, but he's not bad. We'll work with what we have.
Yeah. All right, that ends Celtics talk, and that also ends our episode. If you want more news about other sports, comment, and we'll probably make it. See you guys next time. Thank you, Raheem, for doing this today.
Yeah.
All right, have an amazing day. North Sports out. Bye.
Bye.